Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new video. Now today we're gonna be discussing Legacy of the Void. Next month, I believe it's on like November 7th and 8th, there's the new Blizzcon coming up, and obviously we will hear a lot about the very last expansion for StarCraft 2. Right now we obviously have had Wings of Liberty as well as Heart of the Swarm, and the very last one is going to be the Protoss one called Legacy of the Void. Now, I get this question all the time. Lowko, what do you hope that will happen for Legacy of the Void, and what changes would you like to see in the game in order for, for the game to be more attractive to maybe new players, or to maybe, give the game more longevity? And in this video, I'd like to go over a bunch of these things, and hopefully, I will see them implemented. Hopefully in a month or so, I will go back to this video, and I will look at it and be like, hey, I was actually right in at least a couple of those. So the very first thing that I really want to see of StarCraft 2 is to give it some sort of longevity, okay? Whether you like it or not, Blizzard Entertainment that makes this game needs to make money from it. And even though this model that they adopted with StarCraft 2 worked at the very start of the game, that was sort of the normal, you just buy the game and then you play it. That model has really changed in the time that StarCraft 2 has come so far. For example, if you compare it to any other game right now that is very popular, such as like Hearthstone or maybe League of Legends or Dota, they all have things in-game that basically allow the player to purchase stuff, and that is the reason why the game is still being developed. What I really hope for is that StarCraft 2 will have some sort of microtransactions in the game. So that just means that you can just play the game and actually buy stuff in the game. I don't really care what it is. I'm gonna list a couple of things that I came up with myself, but I'm pretty sure that the people at Blizzard can come up with a lot more awesome things than this alone. But what I really hope is that the game will have some sort of longevity, because if Blizzard is not making money from the game anymore after Legacy of the Void comes out, I would be very surprised if they even continue development of it. Because when you think about it, if a business has to maybe use like 20 employees to release patch 3.2 or whatever it's gonna be called, and they don't get any money for that in return. If you know for a fact that you're gonna need 2 months of 20 employees and you're not gonna get any money from that in return, you're not really going to be doing it as a business, because it costs a ton of money. I mean, it will very quickly cost you like 100k to be, releasing a major patch just in salary alone. And, you just need a motivation as a business. So I sincerely hope that Blizzard Entertainment comes up with microtransactions in StarCraft 2. Now with that, what I really hope for as well is that StarCraft 2 does not have trial accounts anymore. I don't like the fact that trial accounts even exist right now. Yeah, sure, you can play some of the multiplayer, but not really. What I really hope for is that the current StarCraft accounts that are all existing everywhere are all just upgraded to full accounts. However, if you never purchase Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm or Legacy of the Void for that matter, you will not have the campaigns. So what is gonna happen is that the campaigns of the game will maybe cost you like 20 euros or so, and those are just additions and like microtransactions in the game. And the rest that is already there is just going to be completely free, and including that is the multiplayer. What I really would like to see is a switch from, watching mostly people play the campaign and then never moving towards multiplayer. What I would really like to see is that the focus of the game becomes around multiplayer, and that campaign is just an addition, like an extra transaction you can make as a player. Blizzard came out with a couple of numbers a while ago, and apparently 50% of the players don't even play the, multiplayer. They know that the campaign is awesome, they play the campaign, but they never go on to face the multiplayer of the game, simply because they either don't care, or they don't know it can exist, or, the actual step to go there is a bit too much. What I would really like to see is that the focus becomes around multiplayer, because that is where the longevity of the game is, and that is where the game will actually be making money, and then the campaigns of the game are just like additions and things you can purchase if you want to be playing it. And I think 20 euros per campaign would be pretty reasonable. So that would mean there's 3 of them. There's going to be Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void. Now, microtransactions are nothing new to Blizzard either. They already have Hearthstone, where you can, buy card packs and you can buy arena tickets and all that kind of awesomeness. They also have World of Warcraft, where you can buy mounts and whatnot in the game. Heroes of the Storm is basically completely focused about free-to-play and then, buying additions as you go. And that way, Blizzard knows that it's successful, and they are aware that this is a very good business model currently for games. So I very sincerely hope that they are going to introduce it in StarCraft 2 as well, just to give the game longevity. Now, honestly, this is the main thing. Everything else that I'm going to be listing off in this video are just things I personally hope for, but I sincerely hope that Blizzard will give longevity and, you know, give Blizzard a reason to keep on developing StarCraft 2 because I fucking love this game. So there's a couple of things that I came up with as far as microtransactions go. However, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more awesome ones. If you have any ideas for those, put them down in the comment section right below that like button. But I would like to see portraits in the game, different skins for different units like we already have for the Ultralisk and the Thors and the Depots and that sort of stuff. I'd like to see things such as voice packs, maybe different tile sets that you can play on. You know, if you unlock like a second level of a map, you can actually unlock a second tile set of the map. So instead of like a jungle, it becomes like a desert sort of area, whatever. And the last thing that I would really like to see, what I think personally would be a pretty good idea, is to have automated tournaments in the game where you can actually pay as a player to participate in this little tournament. Alright, so here's how it goes. Basically what you had in Warcraft 3 is that every now and then a tournament would run. And you could sign up for this tournament, and once like 32 players or whatever it was would be found, everyone would have to play against each other, and you get like, I don't know, like 12 hours to play your match, and after that it automatically sends you a next target and a next opponent, and at the very last you have a finals that everyone can tune in for, right? Wouldn't it be cool, for example, if someone could pay maybe €5, $5, wherever you are, to enter that tournament, and the winner takes like a big chunk of the money where 10% or 20% of the entire prize pool goes directly to Blizzard themselves, just to fund these sort of tournaments. I think that could personally be very, very popular. Have a couple of different stages. Have someone, you know, have a tournament where you only need to enter like 10 cents. Have a tournament where you can enter €1. And, you know, the winner maybe out of a 32 player one could take €20 out of that. They take like, you know, half the prize money in total. I think that could bring the game very long longevity, and it will give Blizzard a reason to keep on developing the game because they will be making money, but automate a tournament without really having to do anything. These are just a couple of the things that I would think are really awesome in the game. Now, besides the microtransactions, I obviously also hope they're gonna be releasing a couple of new things for the multiplayer. Please remove force fields and swarm us out of the game, please. No, but seriously, I just really want a refreshment of the multiplayer because, you know, we've been playing this game for a while. Before Legacy of the Void comes out, we will be playing this game for another little while. I just want to see some refreshment, maybe a couple of new units, maybe a couple new buildings or upgrades or whatever. Next up, besides just the automated tournaments, I would also like to see maybe automated clan wars, where the clans are actually having purpose instead of just a group of people. You can sign up your entire clan, or you can maybe put like 8 people or 4 people of the roster of the clan on the clan war, and you can actually fight against other people, and you can actually see like the whole league in game, what maybe you are like setting up a league yourself with some prize money at the end, and you can actually follow everything in game and see the entire thing develop, and everything goes automated. I know I'm rambling here about awesome stuff, but I really hope they will introduce something like that, where the clans actually have purpose, so you can play clan wars and automated tournaments. Next up, what I think would be really cool is different MMR per race. Right now, I don't really play on my main account with Terran or Protoss, simply for the fact that I don't, you know, it's not that I don't want to play them, I just don't want to mess up my Zerg MMR. I'm a Zerg player mainly, I just really don't want to be ruining my MMR with my terrible Protoss and Terran play. So what I sincerely hope is that they will introduce a separate MMR for each and every race, and maybe a different league as well. So maybe I'd be, you know, Master League with Zerg, however when I queue up as Protoss, I will only be facing people in like Diamond League. Other than that, with matchmaking, I also hope they will be introducing best of 3 matchmaking, or best of 5, or best of 7 matchmaking, where I will face the same opponent a couple of times in a row, and we'll actually have like the strategic aspect of the game where I need to be, you know, preparing strategies for each and every map, and I need to remember that I previously played this opponent as well. Now obviously that will reward more ladder points and different ways to rank up on the ladder, but I think that would be a really cool addition. Also with laddering, I like to be able to play basically blind on the ladder without anyone knowing that it is me. So instead of the need to make a barcode and be sort of invisible in that way, I would simply just use my own account, tick the be invisible box or whatever it's gonna be called, and then nobody, you know, that I'm facing will actually know that it's me. I think that would be a pretty cool addition and something that is much needed with everyone already owning like 2 or 3 accounts. Simply to be laddering invisibly on the ladder. I think that should just be added as like an option to the game. And then obviously a couple of changes to Battlenet as well. I hopefully will be able to see that we can actually watch WCS and see the entire tournament results and everything in the client with the chat on the side without having to go to Twitch TV. Inviting people in the actual Battlenet client to a custom game, even though they aren't logged in, but maybe they are logged into a different game. You know, all kinds of other stuff that I think personally would just make the game a better experience, but I'm pretty much convinced that that is going to be happening anyway, whatever happens. Anyways, I've been rambling for long enough about the changes for Legacy of the Void. Please leave your ideas of microtransactions right below that like button in the comment section below, because I honestly think that is going to be the one way we can really make sure that StarCraft 2 is going to have a future in the next couple years. Other than that, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!